Hello, welcome to another episode of the GNPS with General Lunjeniela, and I'm back with a whole set of ladies. It's new things, we're doing things differently. Sitting next to me, I have Andii, Miss Andii, Lex Lafoy, and Yashna. Ladies, before we go too far, it's an honor to be in your presence.
Thank you.
To be in the presence of queens. As we celebrate Women's Month in South Africa, even though I feel like we should do this every month.
Every day.
I'd just like to ask you individually. I'll start with you, Yashna, and we'll go along the way. What does Women's Day mean for you?
It's a day where female...
Or Women's Month, not just day.
Okay, let's start with Women's Day because that's like the thing and the public holiday, you know, we get that for free. But yeah, it's a day where there's so much light shed on females. And as much as I'd love for it to be an everyday and all month and all year type thing, obviously if you're being realistic, it's very easy for people to kind of lose focus and lose sight of how powerful women are. So for me, it's a day where we're given that focus, we're highlighted, the light is on us. And yeah, I just wish people would embrace it and kind of carry it out on a daily basis. But yeah, it's a day where we're celebrated for who we are, for the power that we possess, and I'm just proud to be a woman.
True. And you,
Except
Lex?
for once a month, but I mean that's too much.
Why you gotta go there?
I hate being a woman at that point of the month, but other than that, like I love being female just because we're
That
super
comes
strong.
with the power, though.
Yeah.
I
it
think
does
you all
build
guys wouldn't have the power if it wasn't for that one time of the month.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one superpower I could go without.
I feel you.
I feel like I'm capable of everything else.
We could do without it, but I mean the fact that we handle is like this makes, you know what? Let's just move on because this conversation has taken another route.
So for
And you,
me,
Lex?
I feel like Women's Day and Women's Month is a time to remember the divine feminine, you know, to remember who we are, not just as physical beings, but the power of femininity also spiritually, you know, because every female and male has both masculine and feminine qualities and powers, you know, whether it's hormonally or intrinsically. And we all just possess a different balance of these two energies. And I feel like, you know, historically, there was a big imbalance at some points in the earth, you know, where a lot of patriarchal and toxic masculine energies just took over. Not just masculine, because we're not anti-masculine, we're anti-toxic masculinity. Yeah, I feel like it's just a time for us to remember the power of the divine feminine, you know, whether you're male or female, just the power of love, the power of caring, the power of nurturing, the power of creation, because those are all the things that we stand for as women. Yeah.
Andii?
First, just want to agree with you every day. We should be celebrating this one every day. But for me, I actually want to revert back to a conversation I was listening to my mother have. And she was like, back in the day in apartheid times, particularly my grandfather didn't want her to work. So she used to find ways to embarrass him to get her, to make them look broke, like starving, so that he would let her, so that he would let her work, and then she'd go to the police and bring them to the house and be like, look, she took the groceries and put them next door, and she said, look, I need a permit to work, because in those times, a woman was considered a minor. You needed your husband's permission to work. You couldn't buy a house. You couldn't do anything. So for me, Women's Month or Day is just, we're not kids anymore, and we're entitled to our own opinions, and we play a very big role in everything that happens every day. We're made to nurture, so I guess this is the time we get commemorated.
I had a guest yesterday, and she brought up the fact that women just overall should be given choices. Like we shouldn't box women just because you're a woman. So that means you need a man in your life in order for you to have recognition in society, so to say. And also create more opportunities for women. Do you guys feel that in your industry, which is the music industry, are the ladies getting the opportunities that they deserve?
You
I
know
don't
what?
want to talk about this. I get mad and passionate.
Get mad.
You
I
know
don't want
what?
to talk about it no more.
Mina, I got tired
Yeah.
of waiting for men to think that I can be in their space. You know, so a couple of years ago, after a lot of, exposing myself to a lot of emotional abuse, psychological abuse, because you'd find that these are the men who have the resources, and then we must be nice all of a sudden, you know? After having been exposed to so much psychological and emotional abuse with men in power within the music industry, I then decided, you know what, fuck it. Me and some queens are getting together and we're gonna build our own thing, you know. So we started pushing, my friends and I, this brand called Phakama Dadewethu a couple of years ago.
Oh, shit.
And yeah,
So powerful.
thank you. And what? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also getting goosebumps.
I'm a course. So we just started pushing for women by women movements. You know, I started this thing called Sister Sundays in 2016, where we started having these network circles in Joburg, because I was in Joburg for like 7 years. And
We're glad you're back.
me too. Thank you so much. And, you know, because we as women, we felt that we needed each other. We needed that family vibe. You know, we were so tired. You know, when you're in Joburg, so many people have defenses on, and so many people are afraid to be themselves, you know, because the stakes are so high materially. They kind of put the value of material before people, which is such an imbalance, you know. Here in Durban, at least, we still have very strong grounding, rooting with Ubuntu, you know. We still see people as valuable, at least for the majority of us. And so, my sisters and I, we just got tired of it. We got tired of having to act nice. We got tired of having to put our own truth behind us because some man thinks it's too much or we too much, you know? So we just started surrounding ourselves with more females in the industry where we feel more comfortable with each other, where one day if we're gonna lose our shit, it's okay because we understand each other and we know that the bigger picture is music, the bigger picture is creation, the bigger picture is the task at hand, not ukjola, nani, you know, like those things get tiring after a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just feel like I came to a place where I felt like we as sisters needed to just get together and do things for ourselves, you know, while still working with guys. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna speak based off of experience,
Yeah.
my personal experience, my journey as Yashna, the artist. So when I think I started gaining some traction around the time Winning dropped. And I remember I would bitch and moan like, oh, we don't get the same opportunities. These lineups are just full of guys and they're like one female, two, and it's the same lineup every week. Back then, you know, like every club, every event, it's the same lineup. And I would get frustrated and I'd moan on social media and I'd like, it came to this point where I was a P-Dog. I was sitting and I started complaining. And I was like, you know, these lineups, it's just the same people. It's just these guys. And I'm frustrated because why don't we get these opportunities? I know they see me. I know they hear me. I see their faces. They follow me on social media. What's wrong? And, you know, it was such a big pull for me to swallow because obviously we all have our pride. And you know what he told me? He was like, stop complaining. Stop making excuses. What's stopping you from creating that platform? What's stopping you from working 10 times harder to get to where you want to be so that you prove that you can do it? And I sat there and I was irritated because I'm like, that's not what I want to hear. Like, I want to hear like, you know, they should be putting you on that lineup because you're dope, you know? And so, like, and he didn't tell me this once. He told me this like 2 times. And I'll be honest enough to say, the first time my pride kind of like dismissed it. And the second time, it was like, okay, put your big old panties on. You need to suck it up, and you're going to work. And that's when I started putting in the hours. And I was like, I'm not going to leave a gap for people to say, she didn't do that. I'm not going to leave a gap for there to be excuses. I'm going to work twice as hard. So I can say, it's not easy being a female in this industry. Everyone can see it. You go to a studio, just like 1 to 10 or 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Like, that's the ratio because there's always so many guys and there's hardly any girls.
Yeah.
And it's like accepted. And I don't know why, because I know there's so many talented females. Like, there's undoubtedly there's so many talented females in Durban, around the city.
True.
But it was the decision I made based off of my experience. I was like, okay, I'm tired of being dismissed. I'm tired of people acting like I'm not here when I know I'm here. So I'm just going to work harder and kind of just put the excuses behind me. And I feel like that's what every female should do, because us complaining and moaning, and social media is not the place to go and bitch and moan. I've learned that. So you will even see over the years, I just stopped. I don't, if I feel a certain type of way, I kind of deal with it mentally, and I kind of just let it slide, because they want to see you upset. They want to see you going through all these things, and it takes your energy.
Yes.
And that same energy you could put towards creating something beautiful.
Yes.
That frustration you put into a song. There's so many songs that kind of was born, Big Girl. There's so many songs that was created based off of me going through these things as an artist. So it's not easy, but I feel like there shouldn't be excuses. We should put in the work so that we prove them wrong. This stigma that like women shouldn't be on this, or there's no place for you guys. Like, we're capable, if not more, to handle in the midst of so many guys on a lineup. I know. So we're breaking this mold, I know. And I'll also say, I don't know what it is about females, but it's very hard for us to come together.
Dude,
I don't know whether
you can
it's
say
the
that,
fear, and I said this on another interview. I don't know what it is, but if we call a spade, I don't know whether it's people being afraid that the light is going to be taken from them. I don't know whether they feel intimidated. I don't know what it is. That's why when we came together, the heart was in it. And for me, that is what made this so special, because we didn't come in threatened. We came through individually. We are dope as artists.
You guys know that already.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we
Can I
complement
answer
each
that
other.
question?
Yes.
We are raised to compete with each other. You've got to be the better wife. You've got to be the best wife.
They,
You've
like,
got to
turn
be
us
the
against
cleanest
each other,
girl.
you
You've got to
know?
be the most. They turn us against each other because it's like there's not enough. I don't know what. There are not enough men to get married. I haven't experienced a shortage of men.
You know?
Personally, I've never experienced a shortage of men, so I don't think there is one. There's enough space for all of us. There's enough
That's what
money
I
for
believe.
everybody. There's enough shine for everybody.
Yes.
You
You're
know-
born with your shine, by the way. There's no shine waiting for you on earth. You are born with your shine.
Exactly. And once you embrace
So-
your shine, you'll be able to walk hand in hand with other females.
Help another female find her shine. If you see a
Yes.
girl and you can see she's not strong enough to see herself the way you see her, show her. Don't be afraid that when she becomes the best person she can be, all of a sudden she can be better than you. How? She can't be you.
You know, there's one thing that I always say. It's quite obvious that women miss. There's a saying that says, behind every successful man is a...
Strong.
Imagine now, if you turn that thing around, behind every successful woman, there's an army of women. Imagine the things that women can accomplish. Like,
Yeah.
if women decided that one day, okay, we're tired of men running shit.
Yeah.
Now women
I decided,
stick
if there's
together.
anyone else who's decided, please come decide with me.
You know
We've
what?
been working for you guys.
When I was doing Poetry Africa, I think it was 2008 or 2013, one of those years, there was one of the guests on the lineup was what do you call her? She is the leader of an all-female tribe on the west coast of Africa in Cote d'Ivoire. And so these things exist, you know, like, I mean, let's not forget, us as South Africans, we're quite westernized compared to the rest of Africa. But, yeah, but, you know, looking at who we are culturally and traditionally, there has always been a respect for the feminine, for the woman, for, you know, the seed, the holder of creation, you know, of life. There's always been that. I think it's only in contemporary times that people forgot that and the imbalance occurred. So now it's like we're coming full circle and we're coming back to that realization, you know. And talking about that turning point as well, that realization when you see, yo, it's all on me. It's such a powerful moment. It's such a powerful moment because you're no longer looking to the outside and the external for validation. You know, and the world wants to do that. They want to push forms of insecurity. They want to push forms of competition, you know, and somehow you as an individual, you have to see beyond that. I remember when Holly Ray had that moment, it was about 3 years ago, and her and I were DMing. She had just stopped her previous business engagement, and she was at that transitional point where she was like, okay, do I look for somebody else or do I do this myself? And her and I had this dope convo in the DMs, and she decided she was going to do things for herself. And ever since then, I've just seen Holly like flourish, you know. So there's that turning point that people have in their lives where you see it's all in me.
You know, here's another thing that I feel like my reference of God
Yeah.
is female, because my reference of God is my mother. It's my grandmother. The reason why I say that is because, and throughout my whole entire life, those two people have sacrificed for me so much
Yeah.
that some of the things I only realized now in my adult years, that these people were godly, and the powers that they had and the presence that they had in my life was immense, and no other man has that amount of influence, or have I seen any power of that sort in any man in my whole entire life, even myself.
Yeah.
Because those people love selflessly, they sacrifice. Forgiveness. God forgives, God loves.
Yeah.
God doesn't judge.
Yeah.
And your mother will never judge you. Your mother will always forgive you.
It depends. She will forgive you. She will judge you from time to time. So it depends.
But if she can forgive you, that means she wasn't really judging. She's just being critical of how things are. So for me, women should, if anything, men shouldn't be saying God is a he. It's fine if women think that God is a he, but men should think that God is a woman. Because without the nurture and the love of a woman, no man would be that man.
True.
Okay, I understand in cases of where your mom passes away, but somewhere there's a woman who's gonna come in and play that crucial
Yes.
I
role.
mean, they even give
Yes.
life. Like,
Yes.
does it get
Yes.
more?
Like, I
Mind-blowing
can't
than that.
imagine
Yeah.
myself carrying another human being inside my belly
Yeah.
for like 9 months.
Anyway, man, I'm female, so I need to prepare myself. Like, I'm stressing.
You're
like,
not alone.
Oh my God.
Well,
Because I'm
like-
female and I can't imagine it yet.
well, it's amazing. It's magical. It's super magical. I mean, I am very blessed. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I was young. I was like 20, and I was super hippied out. I was telling Miss Andii I lived in my own space. You know, I was going through my own, like my first conscious awakening. I was in varsity. I was exploring all these beautiful spiritual, pools of thought, whether it was Rasta or Krishna or Judaism. I was just really open to learning at that point. And I still am, but now I feel like it's a next level one where it's more practice than theory. So being pregnant was amazing. I would go to ciphers and I would perform right up until my 8th, 9th month, until my friends were just tired of me. Like, it's 11 o'clock, I'm like, guys, I'm tired, Lambile. So thankfully, my daughter was around very beautiful energy, around other creatives. Babuake is also a creative. So, no, the process is magical.
Wow.
Just to confirm.
Like, just even speaking on that, I think it was My Power, on Black is King. There's a pregnant lady handling the dance moves. I had goosebumps because I was like, oh my goodness, she's doing this. This is dope.
Wow.
That's another topic to dwell on.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see, like, that's women coming together.
Yeah.
Like, I think 80% of the cast on
There was a lot of
Black is
females,
King
yeah.
is women.
Yeah.
See what happens
Yeah.
when women come together
Yes.
behind one mission.
Yes.
And they all got an opportunity to shine.
Yes.
Because out of that, if you look at us here,
Yeah.
we celebrate the people who are from here that we saw on Black
Yeah.
is King.
Yeah.
The likes of
Moonchild, Nobusiswa.
Moonchild,
Yeah.
and who else was there?
There was like Nandi Madida.
Nandi,
There was
yes, Nandi.
There's so many,
Nandi
like, I saw so many South African cast and crew. I was like, this happened here? We didn't even know. I'm like, contracts must have been
They're
signed.
so
Like, Beyonce is
secretive.
Beyonce.
Even for Global Citizen, the way they
Crazy.
entered and exited.
Like,
was
it's
so,
just
like,
that power.
quiet, yeah.
Incognito.
Dude, I was very blessed. I was hostessing at their private after party.
Oh.
I was working at living room.
Look at you.
That was godly.
How
Just
was
saying.
that?
I know I'm good in life now. Saying it right. It was magical. It was magical. Like, guys, it was magical. Like taking shots with my favorite rapper on, ever. he kept on ordering Don Julio's for everybody. So while he was at the bar on the corner when no one else was paying attention.
You got a picture with Jay-Z?
No pictures. I was just like,
okay.
happy birthday for tomorrow.
Sneaky young
Thank you,
selfie,
thank you. I had to literally welcome them in because I was the hostess.
Wow.
I was working in living room at the time. It was a super blessed
Yo.
moment. I was like, she walked in, she was wearing this long, high-waisted yellow floral, like matching outfit. And I was just like, you look so amazing. And she, you know what she did? She went, thank you so much. So do you.
I was glad they didn't choose me. I would have started singing like "Hi Beyonce," crazy. But I'm glad it wasn't me.
It was amazing. I mean, Pharrell was there with his wife, Dave Chappelle, Bonke. They were all there.
That's an opportunity.
Like I'm plugging myself. It's a whole like.
This is my moment.
Beyonce. You know, like
No, I held it, guys. I held it.
You held it together. You didn't
I
drop
held
16.
it. I know I didn't. Then they gave us like each of the managers I do say to go home with a bottle. Yo, my life was set.
My life for global citizen was such a sad story, guys. Wow.
What happened?
Did you go?
Did you go?
I was supposed to go, and then my wisdom tooth, guys, my face was this big. I had a face this big the whole time. So now, remember they locked the gates.
Okay.
So they said everyone had to be at the venue at 2 p.m. So
So you did actually go.
no, I thought about going, but then when they told us that the gates would be locked until Beyonce and Jay-Z leave, I realized when my face is banging and the pain is going off, I can't leave. And I was like,
At least you'll win. See, I was that person where there's competitions running for Global Citizen. I was entering the competition in the hope that I
To
win
win the
because I didn't have that cash to be paying to go to Global Citizen. Because first I need a ticket to go to Joburg. Then I need to like pay for the ticket itself. So I was just like entering this competition like praying that I'd win it, but I didn't. So I was very bummed. But I did watch it eventually. So
It looked amazing.
yeah, it
the
looked pretty
footage.
sick.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
Usher confused
for
me,
you
but-
guys, like, I want to find out, how do you see this whole thing panning out? Obviously, we see in the music industry, obviously, live performances are not happening, and obviously, that's where you guys would be making the money.
So
What's the plan, or
I'd say
is there a plan?
personally, I'm winging it because like God has been great and there's been opportunities coming through because there are being gaps where people are making opportunities for emerging artists or actual artists. Like, I mean, artists. Why am I saying all these other jazz words? It's just ignored. So
You're not
artists,
emerging.
there-
Just say artist.
Artists. What am I doing with my life? So yeah, there's been opportunities coming in and like I'm just grateful for it. So hopefully it continues.
I'm also really grateful. I mean, I'm loving this transition that we're going through, honestly. I feel like it's giving us all the things we really needed as people. We needed a moment to pause.
Yeah.
We needed a moment to ground. We needed a moment to reflect. We needed a moment, some of us, to come home, you know, and just reprioritize what's important. So when I saw this apocalyptic thing happening, I'm like, I can get kaya, guys. If
the
shit
world
goes
started
down,
again, me too.
we go down together, guys. That was my whole mindset. I heard lockdown was happening on the 26th, 25th. I was on the bus. I'm like, I'm coming to Durban with my suitcases. I'm like, you know, half my things are still in Joburg. I don't care. Like, as long as I'm with my loved ones and I'm safe and I'm happy and I'm healthy and I'm able to do what I love and still earn through it, that's the important thing. So we have been doing some performances via platforms.
Yeah,
you
live
know,
stream.
that's been really awesome. I also feel like what's happening now during COVID is helping balance the field. What I mean is there were people, like Yashna was saying, you know, who were always getting the shine, always, to the point where we're tired. We're tired of seeing the same faces, of hearing the same songs. We want freshness, not only as artists, but as an audience, as listeners. We love music, we love newness, we love fresh, inspiring things, you know. So I feel like this lockdown moment has really given all artists more of an equal playing field, because now the realm is digital, which means anybody can find you. It's not just about being on a physical stage. You know, it's anyone from around the world can find us and listen to us and support us. And for me, it feels like more of an equal opportunity than before.
Oh, yeah. I see where you're headed with
I'm literally so glad you said that. That's exactly what I was gonna say. But I literally welcome the digital era because what you said about the balance is perfect. People have a choice now. We didn't have a choice. You're forced. I'm not gonna drop names, but you know who I'm talking about. Okay.
Drop them. Let's start a fire.
We're forced. We have in South Africa, let's be honest, about 5 headlining artists. They're always the headline. One has left, and he was the only one we really, really liked. But anyway, but we have 5 artists, and their names are just recycled through clubs, through events, and now everybody's game. Everybody's profile is open. You can log into everybody's Instagram profile.
Yes.
You can watch anyone you want. You can find new people. You can dance to what you want.
Yes.
Only problem is you can't go outside. But otherwise, it's a chance. This is like being for me personally. Now that everybody's at home and everybody's posting what they're watching and listening to, I've learned like so many new things. It's so inspiring, especially for like younger artists. Like I hope like young kids that are in high school who want to make music and who want to act and do all these things, I hope they're on social media watching, because you don't need to go find a physical manager anymore to go get you a physical event to perform at anymore. You can just be at home, find a corner, set up, perform, and if you're good, everybody knows you're good. No one can take it away from you anymore. No one can actually block your shine.
Yeah.
That's true. Because there was a lot, I feel like there was a lot of gatekeeping.
Yes.
The gates have been broken down.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
are you
hala,
keeping now?
Some biblical
What are
moment.
you keeping
The walls
now?
have
The
been
gates are
broken.
Like the internet has no gates.
Right?
As long as you have data,
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't control people, because like there's another thing with this whole gatekeeping thing, is that people are subjected to what's cool or what's good and all those. And with the internet, if I recommend Yashna to my 10 contacts, if they find Yashna interesting, she's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's the story, and that's how it should be. It should be it should be organic.
Yes.
Actually, even on the other note, I was doing an interview on Instagram, and they asked like, how do you think if, you know, when lockdown iphela and December starts, because we can all agree that the moment lockdown is over, it's December. For a very, very long time. 2-month December.
We need
We need like a 2-month December. But when December starts, they were like, how can we still use everything that we're using now to get through? And I said, it should stay. It should stay. Something like Global Citizen, it only happened in Joburg. Selling online tickets and making sure there's a live camera crew shooting, and I can buy an online ticket for cheaper than being there, and I don't have to travel, like Yashna said. I can't buy a plane ticket, book a hotel, and buy the Global Citizen ticket. That's so nice. I can sit at home, put it on my TV, I bought my ticket, log on to the thing, and I'm still watching the show. Yes, I'm not physically there, but I got to see it while it was happening. Because if you're in General Valley, you're there, but you're not there. Yeah.
It's kind of reminding me of my experience with like overseas festivals, because before lockdown, that's how I was watching Lollapalooza. That's how I was watching Coachella, is online. So it's just giving a greater number more access to something they wouldn't have access to. Also, it's safer. There's not that many people driving drunk on the roads and stuff.
Do you know how many people lost cars after Global Citizen? And lost cell phones.
Oh my God, so
people
much happened.
Yeah,
God,
people. I was happy I wasn't there, because I was like, I wasn't gonna run with my face
Same
this
thing
big.
like for the Justin Bieber thing.
You mean cars got stolen?
Cars got stolen, Ubers got jacked, people's cell phones went
I heard
because
It's traumatic, actually.
everybody's trying to leave at the same time. So people are moving between you, stealing. You won't even notice.
A lot of people were affected.
Wow.
But while we are there, I said I was going to use the camera. Right.
girl.
I just want to say Yashna is having a concert in honor of Women's Month on the 30th of August. Tickets go on sale on Wednesday. From Wednesday. What is my English? Anyway, I will not be talking too much on this concert, so you won't have to deal with this. But yeah, and these two beautiful ladies are going to be there as well.
Hey.
So virtual concert is happening 30th August.
Since you brought it up, we might as well talk about it. So, like,
Say about it.
Yeah.
What's
the whole plan?
So I'm not sure if you remember last year I did Keep It 100, which was like it was like a one-woman concert where I saw bandanas and
at the
warehouse.
warehouse.
Yes, so I teamed up with the same team.
With the warehouse again.
Yeah, no, not the warehouse.
Oh, okay.
Joel Iman, it's Neo Dao, and this time we got a new member on board. It's Creed to handle visuals. So basically, we're gonna put together a concert, and tickets are gonna be sold on Quicket, and people can stream it. It's gonna be, I think, like a 45-minute concert of Yashna, featuring these two beautiful ladies.
Oh,
We made it.
But yeah, it's obviously just like how you were saying, how are we kind of going through this whole lockdown thing and opportunities for ourselves. I was actually, funnily enough, I was inspired by Robin Third Floor's, you know, his Third Floor Thursdays.
Yeah.
So he sent me the link to tune in, and I tuned in and I'm watching this. I'm like, okay, why did we not think about this? Because this is so dope. He's interacting with his fans. It was just such a dope thing. It struck something in me. So I literally I was like, Joel, remember we did this thing last year? What are your thoughts on doing something like that? You know, because I know people are hungry for content.
Yes.
You know, they want to hear stuff, and it's Women's Month, and a lot of my music speak to women.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was a perfect time, and we did it around this time as well last year. It was, I think, it was around this time as well, even the previous year with Phases of My Broken Heart. So I feel like it's fitting to do something now, and with it being Women's Month. So it's called Dreams Don't Die, which is
okay, wait.
really
Nice.
special.
Is this a once-off thing, or are we gonna see a series of these? Now?
So we had Joel and I discussed the Dreams Don't Die before lockdown had happened, and what we wanted to do was to put like as many emerging artists on it as a concert, which was actually supposed to take place in October. But obviously with COVID coming through, it really shifted everything. So we restructured it. But as far as I'm aware, going forward, it's going to be an annual event. Obviously, it won't be like this where it's like solely Yashna, but this is the beginning of something.
Yeah, it's just to get it off the ground.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
we had this idea.
See what you guys were saying about leveling the playing field?
Yeah.
Because now you get the opportunity to host your own events. Now
Yes.
those gatekeepers, where are you now?
And
They're just like side-eyeing us.
it's also like coming back to like family vibes also. It's giving us an opportunity as young people to connect more with our older generation, you know, because like, for example, some of my family are in the church, you know, and now the elders are having a difficult time transcending into online church. So here we have like a group or a team that I've put together of, you know, young tech savvy people to say, hey, let's help you out. So I feel like this whole shift there's so much good that has come from it. I know we see the bad in the newspapers and in the news and what, but let us not lose sight of the so much good that is happening. It's building a bridge between spaces that had gaps, you know, whether it's generationally or artist to consumer, it's really helping. Yeah.
And I like this because it's an all-woman movement. Is it safe for me to say that? Or
Yeah.
All-girl band.
no, I mean the concert. It's putting on women.
So yeah, because it's obviously in honor of Women's Month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm coming through with female empowering songs, and because we collaborated with Aybo, I felt like it was fitting to kind of let us perform there. It's not like we have stages to go perform on, so why not bring that to the concert? And that's what we did.
Speaking about Aybo, if you don't know, the ladies have a single out. It's Yashna featuring Lex and Miss Andii. Yeah. It's available on all digital streaming platforms. It's called Aybo. How did that song specifically come about? And since I know you guys, when did you guys do it?
You'll be so shocked at that answer.
About a week ago.
You definitely want that answer because everything was done in 4 days max.
No ways. Video.
Let's get dates. What date was the Saturday we recorded?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, we recorded the Saturday. We agreed we're going to shoot a music video Saturday afternoon. On Sunday, we said we're definitely doing it. And on Tuesday, we shot it.
It was the fastest manifestation all of us had ever done.
Literally, it was just, I've never been under so much pressure, but I was like, it's the best pressure because literally the energy between the three of us, it was electric and we got along. There was, as much as there was a time deadline, it was such a fun experience. Everything worked out and I'm just really proud of us having accomplished that, and the way it's panning out is just, it's so amazing to see considering We did this in 4 days. The song was done in like 4 hours.
We were learning
Like,
our words on set at the video.
We were learning our lyrics
Literally
while
learning
we were
our
shooting
words.
because we literally recorded the song 2 days before.
Yeah.
So we're like, I'm so sorry I missed that. Let's do it again.
Literally.
You get the first 3 bars and then you're like, oh.
Wait, you did the song in 4 hours, all 3 of you?
Yes,
Yes.
we met at 11. I think we were late, so maybe
Yeah,
let's say
it
half
was
past
at
11.
10, but we started at like 11.
11, and we
Yeah.
were done by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we were super hyped, and then we're like, oh my gosh, let's do a video!
Like after the song. Like, oh, these are dope to have visuals.
Okay, you guys didn't plan to do the video
No.
as well.
No, we just were set
We
on
let
the
the
song.
spirit live.
Okay, yeah, so some background information.
Yeah.
So all 3 of us were on the Cultured Chaos EP titled Choices Sorted. And so they had created a group. And so they sent the songs in the group before they kind of released it digitally. And I listened to it. I was like, oh my goodness, this female is dope. I listened to another. I was like, this is another female rapper, different. Okay, I'm here for you. And so, like, I think maybe it was a month later, a couple of weeks later, I messaged them and I was like, oh, I want to do a track with you guys. But at the time, so I think it was the beginning of the year. The stars didn't really align. Lex was still in Joburg. And then it was after I felt inspired by watching that live, I was like, okay, no, I'm talking nonsense. The way I'm sidetracking. Let me totally went to
No,
a different
take your
conversation in my head. Okay, so no, it was August, and I was like, oh, Women's Month. Because I think I spoke to you, Andii. I kind of reached out and I was like, would you still be keen to do this track? And then I reached out to Lex, and I didn't know Lex was back in Durban. So
Me too.
now the stars were like, okay.
I only found out when I saw you sending me the song.
And then the stars aligned. Like, we got into studio and we created the song in like 4 hours. So we had never met prior to that. In my head, I kind of felt like Lex and Andii had met before, but they haven't or hadn't. They
But
hadn't
you
met
guys were
before.
on the same song.
I had seen you before, at least.
Yeah, I had
Lex,
seen her
hadn't
at
even seen
Teabag.
before.
We
I had
weren't
no
on the
face to
same
name.
song. We were on the same
Same
EP,
Oh, same
but on
EP,
different
yeah.
songs.
We were on
different
the same.
songs.
You did vocals for the song.
I might have backed it up.
You backed it up.
Yeah. But like neither one of us had met before. I assumed that they had met, but they hadn't. So at
Yeah.
studio, it was like news to me that they hadn't met before. So we were all meeting for the first time. And so the hook was already recorded. And I said, I don't want it to be a normal studio session where you come to the studio, you just record what you have written at home. And I was like, I want it to kind of be organic. I want us to kind of like lean into each other. You know, if I'm struggling, like you guys can help me because like I don't really classify myself as a rapper. These 2 ladies drop bars on bars on bars. Okay,
Yeah, but
I sing.
you held your own considering
Yeah, like I
who you were with.
Yeah. So
She did amazing.
I'm so glad that like it really worked out. It wasn't like, oh, it was writer's block for hours. Like in a period of 4 hours, the whole song was done. It was just a matter of mixing and mastering, and then we were good to go. After the session, literally it was like, oh, it'd be so dope to have visuals. And somehow, as much as we said it, I didn't really think it was gonna take off like that. And then the idea sparked, we spoke. I hit up Creed, who handled the BBSR visuals. Next thing you know, he's like, okay, he's available next week. And then we were like, Tuesday? Like, literally, the song was done on Saturday in 4 hours. Sunday, we kind of confirmed it. Monday, we had time to
each
kind
other
of
outfits.
outfit pictures of ideas and stuff.
The media in that group as well.
Like, it's literally...
You need a lot of space.
Actually, to clean us, I have space on my phone because it's a struggle. But Tuesday we get there, literally we just all brought our clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
And because when I look at this video, I think what stands out to me is the drip is just, it's so bright and like fresh and it's so
Vibrant
dope.
colors.
It's so dope. So like, yeah, it was just such a dope experience because we all came together, we shared, there was dope conversation. It was such a fun day of shooting. It was a 1-day shoot. And it was a wrap at the end of the day, and we had a video ready. The video, I think, was ready like, 2 days
3rd
later?
of August. So how long was that? 4 days after?
Yeah.
My maths is
I
just...
think it was just not a
Hectic.
weekend.
All I know is like song was done, visuals were done in a period of 4 days, and because I needed to submit to radio and TV, and in order for that to be done, I needed like final cuts of everything. So this was a really quick process. But I'm just grateful for the personalities that these 2 ladies have because there hadn't been any awkward moments. There haven't been any bitchiness. There hasn't been any, like shadiness. There hasn't been any feeling of insecure or less than or I'm better than you. There was no outside, like, what can I say, things that affected.
No one was bringing any negative
No,
energy.
I should have just said that. There were no negative vibes. Everyone, I just talked too much.
Your English is excused.
You know what is going on today is not the day. Yeah, but like literally everyone brought their own light, and I feel like we shined.
I actually just want to.
Shone our light.
You guys wanted to shine.
The English is dead. It was
That's
locked
okay,
out. My English
girl.
I
was
genuinely want to thank the guys, Creed and Neo. Like,
Yes.
they
that was
handled.
seeing men that believe in women, because they had to tolerate a lot. First of all, the bathroom in which we were changing in
So much
had
happened in that bathroom.
mascaras
Like,
and
It took like
eyelashes and
3
strands
hours
of
for
weave
us to
and
get
everything,
ready.
and
They were
we
like,
kept
"Are you
saying
guys
5 minutes, and
like
they're
an
like
hour early.
an hour later we're still sticking on a lash. And throughout everything they were there. There was never a moment where
100%.
either Creed or Neo wasn't there to see us through. If we stressed about something, they also had solutions. So that's what
Yeah.
we're looking for. Yes, we were women that came together to do a project for women, but we had two great men support us,
Yes.
and that felt really good. That we appreciate. I genuinely appreciated that.
Yes.
From
And
them.
they were really on time with everything, from the mixing and
We were
mastering
late.
done. No, I'm talking about like the production of like
Yes.
the song mixed and mastered like in what, a day, 2 days.
Yeah.
Video, a music video edited in like what, 2 days.
days.
It's crazy. So yeah, I'm really grateful for them. Like they believed in the vision and they helped execute it and bring
Yeah.
it to life. So yeah.
And while we were making the video, it just felt like we were all in girls' high school again.
It was like a big sleepover for like 3 days.
You know, I mean, I said this once before as well. I had thought we would bond more in the recording session, yet the day we really, really bonded was the day we shot the video.
Wow.
You know, so it was just like that sisterly moments where genuinely, you know, if I needed help with makeup or if she needed help with something or we were sharing this or that, it was really just this coalescing, uniting moments.
You know what would be powerful, even more powerful?
Say
Like,
it.
You guys don't have to do this now.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out.
If
there.
he's gonna say what I think he's gonna
I
say,
think he's gonna say it. Let's hear. Let's hear.
already said it.
What am I gonna say?
Just say it. Let's see.
No,
Does it
say a
start
boom.
Does it consist of 2 letters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not the first, and the seed has been planted.
The seed has been
So
planted.
if you guys were to just give us an EP.
Ah!
We will, we are.
There are those 2
we,
letters I
we
was
don't want
looking
to say
for.
too much, but we have consciously decided
Yeah.
we are doing it.
Disgusted,
We
yeah.
will create 2 more songs, and we are doing it.
It's
Wow.
actually incredible, and sorry, I'm sitting here and I just realized that manifestation is one of the most beautiful things
Yes.
ever. I said it during my interview with you.
Yeah.
I want to meet female artists. I'm always the only girl at Cultured Chaos, but I love the boys. The boys are the bomb. But like, I'm always the only girl in studio sitting
Yeah.
there, you know. And I said it with an interview
Yeah,
with you,
it's
and
right-
and,
it's right
and
here on
now
the
August, we're
episode.
sitting here, and you guys brought it to me.
Oh,
Thank you to you
man.
guys
Thank
as well.
you, Yash, for inviting us.
I'm just, you know when you have an idea
Yeah.
and you have the vision comes with this idea and you're like, oh, this could work, it could be so great. And in real life, things don't really go as planned. In this case, it kind of exceeded my expectations. Like, I don't even
By
think my
far.
vision was as grand as this turned out to be, with the energies, the personality, and the
Yes.
execution of this.
Yes.
I'm just really grateful that you guys were
Same.
as committed. And let me tell you, I've worked with people, but their admin game
Yeah. On point.
is on fire. It just makes my
That's
life
what
so
happens
easy.
when women come together.
It makes my life so easy. Trust me, I've worked with
You know,
artists.
you know what I
but-
picked up about Lex? Yeah. She can keep time.
Yeah, it's just like
She can keep
it
time.
just makes the experience so much easier, and yeah, it just makes it more fluid.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to nag people. I don't have to like hold my breath and then get frustrated because we have a deadline. They were just so on top of things. We just made the whole experience that much better.
The nice thing is, if you knew something wasn't done, you knew genuinely that person couldn't do it in that moment. But and we understood that everyone was busy, but everybody put so much energy into prioritizing this. Everybody else had to, you know what, let me be honest, when we started recording the song, I was painting my room. Like like DIY inside. I had no nails, nothing, because it was just getting, you know.
Hey,
And you know, I woke up in the morning, fixed what needed to dry, got to studio, came back, was like, what needs covering again?
I wouldn't even say
When we were
that.
shooting the music video, I didn't even have time to do my nails because I was like, my room just finished getting painted by me. So there was so much going on, but the prioritizing of this project, just, it was
The
so nice to know.
commitment was
Yeah.
just, it's like amazing.
Can I just add something that's like sort of significant for me to what's happening here? Is that you guys have an opportunity to demonstrate what we've been
Yes.
talking about. What happens when women come together.
Yes.
More specifically in the music industry. And it's not like you guys, like you're not subjected to now forming a group and neglecting your individual careers, but as a collective,
Yeah.
it would go a long way in propelling your careers to the directions that you guys wanted to go.
Yeah, we agree. We agree. I think, like the other lady said, I'm super grateful that there's organic alignments and appreciation for each other. And I think what precedes that is that each of us in ourselves have dedicated ourselves to self-mastery, to self-discovery, to self-actualization, to working on ourselves. And I think that's where we come together. Like Yashna said, you know, where other women clash is usually along the lines of fear or insecurity. And each of us had to overcome that in ourselves prior to meeting
100%.
each other,
Yeah.
prior to attracting this opportunity. So, yeah, we are all for taking this forward and showing other sisters, other women, and also Durbanites, because Durban as a city is tremendously rich in creativity and art and artistic, just fire, you know. And this is our moment, you know, because even with the playing field now of lockdown and things like that, Durban has this moment to just shine. I mean, I'm getting DMs from people in Mpumalanga, in Joburg, in Pretoria. Yo, you guys are doing the most. You know, like, yes,
You know.
it's our time.
Oh,
God
yes,
is
we-
Lindy. So we're just honored, you know, to be able to carry this movement with us.
Wow. So I just wanna find out what you guys how you guys feel about gender-based violence, and what are the solutions that we can recommend to remedy the situation, or try and remedy the situation.
Firstly, I believe in everybody needs to take responsibility for themselves. Educate yourself, man, woman, everybody. Educate yourself. What is gender-based violence? Where does harassment of a woman start? Does it start at my words? Does it start at physical touch? Understand everything word for word. What is it that makes women uncomfortable? What violates a woman's right? From there, you can control your behavior. Because I don't believe there's a point of us standing here and crying and asking for the police to run to situations to save people that have already been beaten. No. Like, you as a human being, if this really concerns you, the way we say it does, go read. Put it in schools. Put it in the education system. Print posters everywhere. Social media, right, this is where it starts. This is where harassment starts. This is where violence starts. This is where you seem aggressive. And there should be boundaries on how you treat people. From there, if everybody is aware of themselves, their actions, and you're a person of integrity and you're accountable for your actions, I feel like that's where all these cases will drop, maybe even end, if everybody takes responsibility for themselves.
Yeah. For me, I have 2 points on this one. The first one is how we raise our boy children, you know, and how we raise our men as parents. I feel like for the longest time, generations before us raised boy children to be repressive, you know, so they disempowered males by raising them to hold their emotions back. And then you have a generation of men who are unfamiliar or who don't know how to word what they're feeling. So instead of trying to word what they're feeling with emotive words, they end up using violence. You know, I mean, we all know, whether you're male or female, repression is really, really bad, you know. So us as artists, we're just grateful that it's our work's mission to learn to express more in healthy ways. So number one, let's switch up the way we're raising our boy children. Let's raise them to, you know, let's encourage them to express their emotions in a healthy way more. Secondly, us as women, we need to stop getting over this. We need to stop this savior syndrome. You know, we need to stop thinking that we can save men. We can't save men. You as an individual, whether you are male or female, it is your responsibility to identify your trauma, to heal your trauma, and to become whole. Only then can our relationships work better. So, yeah, man, us as women, we need to identify red flags early. We need to value ourselves enough not to stay a second time. If the man hits you, if the man bad mouths you, if he disrespects you, don't stay to see it into a full-blown murder or a full-blown crime. Don't do that. value yourself enough, woman, you know. Even you, man, who is getting abused, value yourself enough to step out of that situation, because nobody deserves to be abused and treated in a dishonorable way. Life is valuable, guys.
Okay, for me, I personally believe that as an adult, the way you view life and the way you do life is based on what you were exposed to as a kid and what you've been through as a kid, what you were taught. So as Lex said, the way you are raised, mothers should raise their children knowing what's right and wrong, and not just only raise their boy children, but their girls too, to know that it's not okay to accept certain things like this. Because you might be a female being raised in a home where your mother's being abused. You grow up, you enter a relationship like you think it's okay. My mom went through that. So as kids, just as you guys were saying, it should be put into the educational system so that kids know what is right and what is wrong. Because as your child, you are trained to view things a certain way. So yeah, that's my take on it. I feel like, yeah, basically you guys summarized it. I'm just adding a cherry on the top, but I also feel like for women and men in this situation, it's so much deeper than just physical abuse. It is, the root is emotional abuse, and you really need to identify the seriousness of that, because it becomes a disease of the mind.
Yes.
You think, no, it's going to change, it will get better, and you stay, and you stay.
Yes.
And it's never going to get better.
Just
You
gets
have
worse.
to remove yourself from that situation. As hard as it is, it will not
Yeah.
be easy. And I feel like that's where the awareness needs to be. Like, people need to start taking emotional abuse more seriously,
Yes.
because it's on the same playing field as physical abuse.
Yes.
It may not physically hurt, but
hurts more.
emotionally it is. Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I just add one little?
Yeah, yes, you may.
I just want the narrative to change amongst African parents. Stop teaching us ukuthi sibegezele in a marriage. That word, I don't like that word needs to go. Stop teaching your kids to put up with suffering to make something work. It's not working if you're hurting me. It doesn't work like that. That begezela, that thing, that narrative, it needs to go.
Yeah.
And young girls, no more beggars. Don't begezela for anything,
Yes.
please. Besides your own hustle.
Yes.
And as Lex said, because Lex was saying, we need to stop with the savior mentality.
Yeah.
If you are in a relationship and you feel like, oh no, this person is broken, I need to fix them, you are not going to fix anything until they have made a
Yeah.
concerted decision to fix themselves.
Yeah.
That is why it is so important to be aware of these things when you enter a relationship, to know that this person is secure in themselves, because otherwise that becomes your
Yes.
problem, and you're literally losing yourself in trying to fix someone else.
Yes.
And that's how relationships drain you, and it's not healthy.
Yes.
And so often people find themselves in these relationships where they think it's okay, this is normal. It's not normal. So honestly, love yourself, find yourself, and I feel like if everyone works towards that, I don't think it's going to eradicate the violence, but it will definitely like reduce it.
And one last thing, just honesty as well.
That word,
You know,
entirely.
Such a rare concept to most people. I can't get why. I can't get why.
Self-love and self-honesty.
Honesty.
Because we're living in a time where, you know, with the internet, our lives are a lot more transparent. We don't have to be hiding things. So find you a partner who loves and accepts you as is. And don't hide who you are, because then all of a sudden one day you reveal yourself, then now, you know, someone loses their mind. Just be you from the get-go. Yeah.
Wow. The queens have spoken, guys. I cannot say anything more after that. Besides, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all the returning subscribers, and to the new ones, welcome. What have you been waiting for? Do the right thing right here in the corner and subscribe. And you can follow us on Instagram at GNPS_podcast. You can follow myself on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, general_Ingeniela. The ladies, they can drop their handles one by one.
Oh, is this me? You find me Insta, Facebook, Twitter, all the same handle, Miss Andii, MS_AND_II_.
You guys can find me all over as Lex Lafoy. So it's LEX_LAFOY. Thank you.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Yashna, YASHNA_INT. And don't forget, stay tuned to my socials, because tickets are going to go on sale from Wednesday for the concert Dreams Don't Die. That's happening on the 30th of August, 2020. Happy Women's Month, guys.
Make sure you get those tickets, and also go listen to the ladies' musics. And they
Aybo.
hear my English music.
Yashna.
Aybo.
It's Yashna. It's contagious.
Stop. Oh my God, I'm working on it.
That's how great it is. You gotta make it plural.
Yes.
You can go listen to their stuff everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, wherever you get your
And
music.
music videos out.
Except
so
for Fagaz.
it might be there. I think my music is already there.
I'm
trust me.
kidding. I'm
You don't have to
kidding.
put it yourself.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It might already be there because people are quick these days. So
Catch us next time. Thank you to Q behind the camera. Follow him at Q Productions on Instagram. I don't know if he's on Twitter. Shout out to Tiny as well, holding us down. You know what it is, man. Catch us next time.